You were fine.
Well, my both legs flew up, you know. I thought I was going to fly over the bike, but when I flew up, I landed on the pegs. Okay.
She's doing okay. She's doing okay. Ah, and she fell. Hi guys, I'm Abhinav. With me is Nerine. Nerine is a rider from Singapore. She's here in India with her boyfriend Nerine. Nerine, how many times have you been here?
Wow, I would say this is probably my fifth time to India.
Oh, so you're used to the heat, you're used to the climate here?
Yes, very much. Much drier than Singapore, definitely, but a very beautiful country. Lots of history, culture, and nature to enjoy.
So, Nerine, you were telling me earlier you tour extensively on motorcycles.
Not that extensively, but my biggest one was when I rode across Vietnam from Ho Chi Minh City up to Ha Giang, which is in the north, close to China, the Chinese border. So I toured on a Suzuki bike. It was an awesome experience, but wow, lots of technical challenges along the way. So here I am, figuring out more about bikes.
Was it a single cylinder, a twin cylinder? Was it a DR, Suzuki DR?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a GN125, one of those.
Oh, so the
bikes.
smaller motorcycles. I think that
Yes.
fits the terrain, that fits a country like Vietnam.
Oh, it was just right. We had things like that as well, rocks, hill climbs, but well, I managed. I pulled through, no injuries, so all good.
Okay, so because of Hurricane, you've now started doing a little bit of off-road riding as well. So would you want to tell me a little bit about your motorcycle that you got in Singapore?
Yeah, sure. So when I first met Nerine, I got a cafe racer because I love the look of the very classic looking bike. But then he started introducing dirt bikes to me, and I'm like, what are these loud, noisy bikes with so much pollution in the air? And you know, it's just noise pollution, right? But he brought me to the trails, and I just enjoyed the adrenaline of riding through bumps, rocks. Well, not so much of sand because that has caused me a couple of scars on my leg, dropping off bikes. But it's just an amazing experience, very thrilling, very fulfilling as well once you conquer the obstacles.
So how long have you been riding dirt now?
Dirt, about 1.5 years.
Okay, that's decent enough. That's decent enough to pick skills. I mean, you were holding your own over here, and this is not the easiest of trails, I would say.
Thank you.
And you're not used to rocks at all, right?
No, definitely not the boulders here. We don't really get that in Singapore. So I also have another bike, which is a CRF 300L. So I'm building that into a touring bike so that we can do a proper Southeast Asia tour one day with Nerine. Hopefully we'll cross Myanmar and reach India and join a ride with you guys.
Oh, that'd be amazing. So now that you ride the CRF 300, how does that feel? How does that bike feel to ride? I mean, you just rode the XPulse today.
Yeah.
I believe, which is the one that you were on?
The one at the end.
Oh yeah, the one at the
similar
end.
to this as well.
Yeah. So, okay, so that one has a rally kit on it. So we'll just use this motorcycle for context.
Yes, very similar.
Yeah, so this bike is quite tall and it's quite wide. Did you find that intimidating at all? Anything like that?
Wow, initially yes. So definitely I have to sit half butt cheek on the bike, and really get my footing when it stops. When the ground gets a bit undulating or it has dips, yep, I definitely have to get off a bit more. But with a bit of riding, and once you go on with speed, actually the height of the bike really helps because it helps me clamp my legs pretty good height.
Right.
So it's very stable while riding. Going over bumps, those are great as well. Suspension was good. Really enjoyed that. Compared to the CRF is much more squishy.
Yeah, it's quite squishy, but it's also a lot more powerful and a lot narrower than this motorcycle, correct?
Yes, that's right. Because of the suspension, it sinks much more. So it gives me a bit more confidence in managing difficult terrain when I'm going a bit slower. And power, yes, we get a lot of power at about first or second gear. Whereas for this, it takes a little bit to pick up.
Right. How did you find the gearing on this motorcycle? Were you using the second gear or the third gear most of the time, or were you in higher gears?
I would say probably about third or fourth when we're going at around 40-50 kilometers per hour earlier. But definitely high hill climbs, climbs first, second gear, sometimes the first gear even.
Okay, so you stalled out while trying that very steep climb. Had you
Yes.
been on the CRF, what would your approach have been?
Oh.
Did you feel a lack of power on this bike? What exactly did go wrong
Yeah.
there?
Okay, so I would say that the CRF is in the power delivery, it was much better at the first and second gear, smoother as well. Whereas this bike, the power kind of died out on the second gear a little bit more. Perhaps I wasn't throttling hard enough, but compared to the CRF, I was using pretty much the same skills.
Okay.
CRF was much smoother in the power delivery and consistent. So I've done something like that before with the CRF, no issue. But maybe I wasn't used to how the bike was reacting to the
Yeah, because
bumps and
this
all
is
that.
your first ride on this motorcycle. Did you find it heavy?
Oh yes, it's significantly heavier than the CRF. Maybe about 40 kilos heavier.
Maybe about close to 20-25 kilos, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for correcting that. Yeah, so but because of the weight, it was a bit daunting at low speed. But once I hit 20 kilometers per hour, not much difference honestly.
Okay, and what did you think of the suspension? Because this suspension is, it's tunable. It would still be a lot stiffer than the CRF. Did you
Yes.
like the suspension here?
I'm not used to it. I don't know whether to say that it's better than the CRF, but I'm still really getting used to that. So it was actually quite hard when I first started out with the suspension. Which was relatively hard. So I was bouncing a lot, hitting off the ground whenever I came to boulders and big rocks. So definitely it was a shock to the system because I wasn't expecting to bounce out so
Right.
much. Yeah. Whereas the CRF would be more, it would absorb much better on that.
Right. A lot of people also keep complaining that the CRF has a very small fuel tank. I think it's only about 8 liters or so.
7.5.
7.5.
But I would say that the fuel efficiency is really, really good.
Yeah, so what kind of tank range do you get out of that motorcycle?
So 1 liter, I cover around 36 kilometers.
Oh wow, that's
And
good.
for a
So
7.5 liter
so you
tank,
get what, 200 easily?
230, 240.
That's good enough for a dual sport ride, no?
Yes, it's awesome. Especially within Singapore, it's great.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ridden any of Harine's KTMs? Did you ride them?
Yes, I do. So those were my toy bikes before I had the CRF. His 350, KTM 350, KTM 500. Those are really big, tall bikes, so it's quite daunting. But that's where I also picked up the confidence in riding tall bikes. Then he also got the Beta 200, Beta Cross Trader.
Right.
Those were more manageable for me because they were very light, powerful, and the seats were also much narrower.
Yeah, so
it was
if it's
easy for me
narrower,
to
so it's
ride.
easier to get your foot down.
Yes,
So
yes.
just on camera, would you tell us how tall you are?
Well, I'm about 165 cm.
That's about 5 feet 4 inches or so.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, this motorcycle, a lot of people in India, they keep complaining that the seat height is too tall. So, I mean, yeah.
It's near my hip level.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you just get on the motorcycle and just show us how you manage?
So I'm still on tippy toes, but comfortable.
You're comfortable, right? So that's what, guys. I mean, the idea is just learn how to ride a bike properly and just don't complain, because I mean, learn from Nerine, right? She's doing fine. We get a lot of questions in India on YouTube where people say, I'm 5 feet 6, I'm 5 feet 7, I'm 5 feet 8. Can I ride the XPulse with the rally kit? Can I even ride the stock XPulse? Would it be too tall for me? What would you say to questions like that? Because, you know, as a person who's not very tall,
Yeah.
and you're riding bikes which are extremely tall,
Yeah.
how much time does it take to get used to the idea of riding a tall bike? If you could just talk a little bit about that.
That's a good question. So if you are using the bike as a daily commute, I think within maybe a month or so, you get used to it. Riding through, very narrow lanes, weaving through cars, that would really help with your maneuverability. And definitely once you pile on your luggage and stuff, definitely with a bit of training, do a bit of small light hill climbs, going through narrow channels. I think that would really help with the confidence. And also be confident in hopping off the bike half-assed off. Off.
Yeah, if you could do that again. All right.
This is what Harine taught me, and that's also what I observe of a lot of smaller riders that manage such tall bikes.
Yeah, because Singapore doesn't have a lot of tall people, right? So,
Being an Asian, I'm limited by height with bikes, so generally you gotta, be flexible, hop on and off. And also one other tip is before you take off, look far. Look
Yeah.
far when you ride.
Yeah.
Once you look down below you on your legs and start worrying about the weight and the height of the bike, that's where you wobble and you just drop the bike. So look far and just guess.
True, yeah, that's a very important point, which a lot of people don't make. Because a lot of people, when even I was starting out, my vision would be right where my front wheel is, and that would not make me plan my route ahead. So if you plan your route ahead, if you're looking far ahead, it's just easier to cross over all the obstacles, all the rocks, etc.
Exactly. Great advice.
All right, Nerine, thank you so much. Just wanted to have a quick chat with you and your opinion on the bikes that you ride and this particular motorcycle.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a nice day in India.
Thank you. Enjoying this ride very much.
All right, guys. Bye bye.